Well, Tina, you've sent me into the thick of it this week. Stay tuned to find out why I'm dressed like this and in an army tank right here in Portstewart.
This year marks the 65th anniversary of the end of World War II, and to mark this fact, Malachy went along to Portrush for a war reenactment.
That's right, and it was just interesting how much I could learn in just one day. Take a look at this.
Who do you think you are kidding?
Well, impressive tanks like this are the last thing you'd expect to see in Northern Ireland, but an ever-growing army of military vehicle enthusiasts have ensured that we can all learn a little bit more about what it was like in war. The Ulster Military Vehicle Club have been bringing displays such as this one to communities across Ireland for a number of years now, and with hundreds of enthusiastic members, the world of tanks, trucks and jeeps is going from strength to strength. Well, Mike, you've really transformed Portstewart, and me, it has to be said today, this is a wonderful event. It's a great brand of entertainment and education joined together.
It is indeed. This show is put on every year by the Ulster Military Vehicle Club, and the whole purpose of it is to let people see the vehicles that have been involved in conflicts from World War II through to the Falklands, through to the Gulf War. There's even a few items here from more recent conflicts such as Afghanistan.
It's quite a fitting time to experience a reenactment such as this year marks the 65th anniversary of World War II. Surrender documents were signed aboard USS Missouri on the 2nd of September 1945, ending the war. And war veteran Teddy Dixon remembers the relief of that day. So Teddy, you obviously don't have an American accent, so I have to ask the question, how did you end up fighting for the Americans?
Well, I was born there and was brought back when I was, well, father and mother brought me back when I was 5. So then when the war started, I joined the ARP here, and then I'd got my draft card from America.
But the Americans originally wanted you to join the Navy. Was that down to the fact that you were a fine-looking young man?
They were looking for men for the Navy to bring lease and lend ships over.
Yeah.
So I decided I wasn't going to go into the Navy, and I volunteered for the Army then. And I was stationed in the Grove for about 6 weeks.
My goodness.
Before I was shipped out. It was tough when you had a young son then, and I was leaving them and going away, and I left in November. It wasn't back then, didn't get back to July.
So it was a long time.
So it was a long, to the end of the war.
And I'm sure there was great relief in their faces when they seen you return home.
Oh, it was great. I'm like, well, in the end days there was no telephones and all, so you just walked in on them.
Obviously, these events bring the reality of war back to people like Teddy, but for you and I, it's a great way to really understand what difficulties soldiers may have faced back then. It does, however, take a lot of hard work, and Steve Templeton ensures that their reenactments really capture the experiences of the time. This vehicle here behind us is one of your own.
Yeah, well, it actually got me interested in reenactment. I bought that vehicle about 7 years ago, and it had been used in Band of Brothers, marked up as number Truck 12 of the 101st Airborne. And people came up to me and asked about uniforms they wore, equipment they used at the UMVC show that year. And various people come up and said, I've got a uniform, could I wear it and come with you? And we started a reenactment group from that. It was a great upsurge of interest around the time Band of Brothers came out, and lots of people got involved in reenactment at that time, and that's where I suppose the Wartimeliving History Association came from.
Well, we've just experienced the reenactment, and I'm joined by a tourist from Germany, Ansgar Krug. Ansgar, you're welcome. What did you think of the reenactment?
It was absolutely fascinating. All the pyrotechnics and the authentic uniforms and weapons. I wouldn't have liked to miss it, and I was quite amazed by all these tanks, and this is the first show of this kind that I've ever been to, and it's really awesome.
Well, that's it from Portstewart today. I've certainly learned a lot whilst having a great deal of fun, and you can too. Just get along to some of the UMHV's displays as they roll into a town near you.
Malachy, this victory thing's going to your head.
Just keep moving, Mike. And what a great day we had down there.
Really enjoyed that.
And congratulations to Teddy and his wife. They celebrate 90 years this year. And not only that, their 65th wedding anniversary. Quite a record.
Yeah. Congratulations. And you can catch the guys from WLHA and UMVC at this year's International Air Show in Portrush on Saturday and Sunday. Another great event, of course, to catch in Northern Ireland this weekend.
That's true.